And we asking the question here as we get going, is the Muhammad's economic blueprint dead or alive? Is the economic blueprint for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad dead or alive? Is the economic program of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in this year, 2026, with the great controversy surrounding us here in the pits and the hells of North America, is Muhammad's economic program dead or alive? We're gonna answer that question in the course of this open dialogue in this town hall meeting.
Afrodescendant Ali, there ain't no turning back. Afrodescendant Ali, yeah, we writing history. Afrodescendant Ali for the whole world to see. Oh yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Your Immunity Project under one of my first teachers in Islam, is Dr. Abdul Alim Muhammad. Now, before we go further, I want to say that the road to this conference is to use Brother Abdul Malik's words, is it's like a diamond in the rough. It's a diamond in the rough, but it's a diamond that's shining, but it can be rough. We apologize for the Jumu'ah prayer service that was to take place at 1 o'clock that we promised. We apologize that due to technical and other competency issues that it did not take place, because I was looking forward to that Jumu'ah and that khutbah, and I was looking forward to that talim, and perhaps the talim will come back tomorrow. Perhaps before the conference ends, that Imam Abdul Talib and others who come from the tree of the Bilalians. That's where the Bilalians were supposed to come in this morning, and Bilalians that love the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and Bilalians that love Black people. This was going to be their time to shine. So we apologize for that, because our word is to be bond, regardless to whom or what. But we're not going to fuss. But when it says, have you not learned that our word shall be bond, regardless to whom or what? And that means that in making our word bond, it's supposed to be a hard driving effort. When we give our word and know our word, we have to drive hard to make it bond. That's why I say it's regardless to whom or what, because they're going to be whatever obstacles are going on. We are supposed to succeed and let nothing stop us. I am taught by the Honorable Khalid Abdul Muhammad that we are, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that we are from the tribe of Shabazz. And one meaning of Shabazz is that which meets and overcomes all obstacles. That one who meets and overcomes all obstacles. The greater taker. The greater taker. That means in a struggle with a mission or a goal, if you are from the tribe of Shabazz, you are to take that which you are being challenged with. You are to overtake it and to overcome it. And because we are from the God tribe, you all know the teaching. So we apologize for not making our word bond, and we will make mistakes. I know that there, as they said in the lessons, that there are not supposed to be mistakes amongst the laborers in this world of Islam. But we are striving. We're striving to be better, and this is a process. I'm just letting you know that this is a process. Us coming to this table, bear with me for a minute. Us coming to this table is a process. Many of us have never worked with each other, have started to work with each other. Some could be skeptical of working with each other. some of us have had histories with each other. And some of y'all have had histories with each other that haven't been good. And we haven't had histories that have been all good. They've been controversial. Think about this now, that this conference goes forth today. It's going on tomorrow. Some people will say, what in the hell are you all doing having a tribute to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad? What right do you have? What authority do you have? What are you talking about Savior's Day week? Is this a counterattack or some kind of counter opposition to the leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam? Is this some kind of counter organization or movement or gathering of those who are in somehow opposition to Minister Louis Farrakhan, who is one of my teachers? Hell no. Hell no. That's why from the very beginning on all our flyers, we have determined that we would reward and award the Honorable Louis Farrakhan for the great works that he has done in the name of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad for 52 years. 52 years since he came back, and all the way back to 1955, 70 years or more. My position as a member of the committee is that we're going to honor Minister Louis Farrakhan for his works, whether he appears to receive his award tomorrow or not. We want to let y'all know that I honor him. And this committee honors him. Don't mean that on any occasion amongst any one of us that we haven't had some disagreements, we haven't had some disputes. Sometimes we've had some parting of the ways. Sometimes we have fallen out. And to be honest, all of us on all sides at some point have cussed each other out. Look, I wrote a book called The Book of Khaled. And in that book the book that I wrote, in the Book of Khaled, that came out after the passing of my dear brother, the Honorable Hashim Nzinga, in late 2020, that book details some of my experiences with the Nation of Islam and my experiences under my mentor, the former Supreme Captain of the Nation of Islam, Dr. Khalid Muhammad. And I just went back the other night and looked in my book. And my book it's a powerful book. It's a book that's a part of the history of the Nation of Islam. And it's a great book, but it's also has some controversy in it. It has some pain in it. It has some trauma in it. It has some serious things in it. And so I want you to understand that this conference, this gathering, these brothers and sisters that are listening, that we're also coming through some pain. We're coming through some trauma. We're coming through some hurt feelings. I have offended some of you. Check this out. I have offended some of you since 1988, and Brother Trent Hatchett, Brother Prophet T, and I started Unity Nation. I have offended some of you, and some of y'all have offended me. Some of you have offended each other. Now, I'm not trying to be naive here. I'm not trying to be naive at all. But what we are saying collectively is that we're asking the question. We ain't even answered the question. We're asking it. can the hurt, can the pain, can the trauma that those are in the circle of Islam that love Elijah Muhammad, can they get beyond the offenses that they have committed against each other to perhaps unite around his program to do something for people that are dying and on the verge of being placed probably in concentration camps? And will we be destroyed and go to our graves divided against each other, yet saying we respect the program of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad? So we have to make some tough decisions to get in the room with each other. So that wasn't in my script to say tonight, but I felt like I had to say it. Dr. Abdul Alim Muhammad is one of my first teachers. He was one of my first teachers in Islam. And I used to organize with him and work with him while working with and being mentored by Khalid Abdul Muhammad. And at one point in 1994, there was a parting of the ways. There was a parting of the ways. Khalid Muhammad was suspended. We went with Dr. Khalid Muhammad, and Farrakhan, Minister Farrakhan people went with him, and things got messy. Things got ugly all the way up till my leader passed in 2001. There were hurt feelings, man. Trauma and drama. And what I'm saying here, can we in the course of this conference address that trauma, address the things that have happened, address these offenses, address these errors that all of us have made? Can we get over them for the true and pure motive of uniting to liberate our people under the program of a man who we say is probably the greatest black man ever born in the United States of America? Who I say one of the greatest black men ever born, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Can our love for his program cause us to in some way heal or work with each other? I would hope so. And so I just want to say to all of the followers of Minister Louis Farrakhan, who may be checking in or listening or looking at this conference and looking at us and what we're doing, and what I'm saying is, look, we invited Minister Farrakhan, and we're going to give him his award regardless to whether he answers our mail, whether he answers us or not. We sent his awards right to his doorstep in Chicago. Nice awards. Nice awards. Hold 1 second. Stick with me. Stick with me. Stick with me. We're going to talk about business. We're talking about the program of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And now we're talking about economics. Pardon me. I'm still at work here. This is a perfect setting for this workshop. I'm at work and I got cars, vehicles moving and staff moving. Okay, so I'll have more to say tomorrow at 3:00. That's an opening of my thoughts, man. That's an opening of my thoughts. For everybody, forgive me for anything, please forgive me for anything that I have done to offend you. And I prayed in my heart, if it's acceptable, to forgive others for what they have done to me and my teacher. And pray to God that we can go forward, because our people are in a hell of a condition. As Dr. Khalid Muhammad said, we don't own a rock, a rail, a spike, a spoke, or a huff or a puff of smoke. We don't own a blade of grass. I love when we watched the video Film Fest yesterday. They should keep playing it over and over again. My favorite tape from the Nation of Islam is the 1974 Savior's Day. Of all the great lectures I watched of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, of all the great tapes I've watched of one of my heroes, Minister Malcolm X, El-Hajj Malik Shabazz, of all of the great lectures I've watched from and been a part of and put together for Dr. Khalid Muhammad and others, that 1974 Savior's Day tape is the strongest tape because it lays out the tremendous economic and nation-building accomplishments of the Nation of Islam under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And that was one of the first tapes I ever watched. And that was superior than anything I ever seen. Is Muhammad's economic program dead or alive? We had, as you watched yesterday, the Nation of Islam, under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, had a black bank, Guarantee Bank. I had a law professor named Nasif Mahmoud. He was one of the persons that helped the Honorable Elijah Muhammad establish the Guarantee and Trust Bank in Chicago, our own black bank. Tomorrow, you'll hear from the wife of the Honorable Silas Muhammad, Sister Queen Mashaki, Harriet Abu Bakr. She worked in the bank of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's 1974. We're in 2026. Do you have where's your bank? Black Muslims? Yes, I bank at Industrial Bank. It's a black bank here in Washington, D.C. If you're a member of the Black Bank at Industrial Bank, raise your black fist high. Raise it high in the listening audience if you're here in the Washington, D.C. region. And if you're a member of a black bank anywhere in the United States of America, raise your hand high. Raise your hand high. Coming right back. Yes, sir.
Right here to pick up the car.
Release the vehicle, brother.
Okay, we stay tuned.
Thank you, sir. I got you covered. Release it. I got you.
No, the car I already get. I just wanted to make sure we're good.
We good.
All right, thanks.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry about that. Terribly sorry about that. Terribly sorry about that. Oh, shoot. Okay, I'm back. I ain't answering no more calls. Don't call me. Look, if you are a member of a black bank, put it in the Zoom chat. Put it in the Facebook chat. Put it in the prayer and fasting chat. Put it in the Your Immunity Project chat. Let us know out here, man, if you're listening to what I'm saying. But what happened to the Muslims and the black bank? What happened to the Muslims and the farms? What happened to the Muslims and their properties? What happened to the Muslims and the economic program? What happened to the steak and take restaurants? What happened to the Blue Seas restaurants? What happened to where you could get some fish from the Muslims at the restaurant, get some fish from some Muslims out the van in the street? Look, one of my earliest experiences in Islam, I was a very young child, a baby. Well, not a baby, but very young. I'm in Los Angeles, California. My grandfather, who was an unlettered black Muslim businessman, he's an unlettered black Muslim businessman, Thomas X. Later under Imam Wallace, he was Warth. worth, he was called Malik El-Amin Najila. He wasn't much of a FOI, but he owns several blocks of property in Los Angeles, California, that black Muslim Thomas X from Los Angeles. In the mid-1970s, the late 1970s, the early 1980s. My grandfather, who brought me into Islam, well, he would take me in 1974 and 3. He took me to the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles. And I can still remember to this day at the Shrine Auditorium, which was a big Muslim business bazaar. I mean, the Muslims would rent out the Shrine Auditorium, and all the Muslims who was in business, I mean, they were just all in business and vendors everywhere. And who did I see at that Muslim business bazaar in Los Angeles? The great Muhammad Ali. And I remember as a child watching Muhammad Ali come through, and there were thousands there. And the Muslims were buying. The Muslims were trading. The Muslims were selling. The Muslims had money in their pockets. What had happened to the economic progress and posture and mentality of the black Muslim in America, whoever you follow? What have happened to the economic progress of the black Muslim who is under Minister Louis Farrakhan? What have happened to the economic progress of the black Muslim who is under the Honorable Silas Muhammad? What happened? What have happened to the economic progress of the Bilalian, the American Muslim Mission, the Muslim who says he follows War Deen Muhammad? What have happened to the economic program? What have happened to those that don't follow any of them men? They just say they follow Elijah. Where are your apartments? Where are your businesses? Where are your auto mechanic shops? Where's the things that you used to have for black people that was ran by black people? Look, I'm gonna be talking strong here, right? But I'm very humble about this. So I got to get a message across, but I'm not being judgmental. Far be it from me on this subject or any subject to be judgmental. I'm just happy to be here, but I come to share something with you. I'm laying the base of a conversation so we can share together, learn together. Okay, so I'm trying to speak something to wake you up, but I'm not intending to offend you. I just want to spark some dialogue. That Dr. Aleem says, deliberative dialogue. Well, let's talk about this finance. Let's talk about what is promised to the Muslim from Master Farrakhan Muhammad. He says, you say he's God in person. For those that are saying and teaching and standing on the teaching that Master Farrakhan Muhammad is God in person, Allah in the flesh, well, you say Master Farrakhan Muhammad says that we who follow Islam would have money, homes, luxuries, and friendships in all walks of life. Or I might say money, good homes. Not just any home, good homes, luxuries, friendships in all walks of life. How many Muslims own their own home who are listening to me right now? Raise your hand high. If you're a Muslim and you own your own home, your name is on that title, it's on that deed, raise your hand high. And if you got a good home that Allah have blessed you with, and you've been blessed by your hard work or circumstances, and if you got a good home that you love, if you can, raise your black hand high. What percentage of black Muslims today own their own homes? Look, before we go further, I couldn't find nobody for this panel. Before we go further, we struggle weeks after week trying to find a panelist. Brother Hector Falou Muhammad of Falou Security. I'm giving him a shout out. I'm going to talk about him in his absence. He's out of the country, but he's a panelist here. He's got a $3 million security business, $3 million annual income security business, Hector Falou Muhammad. I'll talk about him in a minute. I've been trying to reach Omar Kareem Muhammad, who's the brother of Talat Kareem Muhammad. I know these men from Howard Law School, and Omar Kareem is a Muslim. His family come from the Nation of Islam. He's a major developer in the Washington, D.C. area. I mean, he's big, and he's a Muslim. He's not here, but just put that in your brain, that Muslims are successful economically, some of them. Now let's get back to this money, homes, friendship. Money, homes, luxuries, friendships in all walks of life. How many Black Muslims have a home? How many Black Muslims own a home? I'm not trying to offend you. When I wrote the book of Khaled, I needed it here, but I don't have it. In that book, there was a researcher that did some research on the Muslims, I think after the Million Man March. She's a British white woman that did research on the Muslims. And in that research, it said that 75% of Muslim men either live with 75% of Muslim men that have a wife or with a woman, they live in an apartment or a house that has the woman's name on the house or the apartment. Facts, data, and research that 75% of Muslim men were living with a woman, and that Black woman name or that MGT name is a name that's on that apartment or the name that's on that house. And that was troubling to me, because it told me that the Black woman is carrying the Muslims financially and economically. Now, maybe I could be wrong. Maybe she was wrong. Maybe that data I read, she was wrong. I want y'all to, when I open up, because I'm going to open up. This is a town hall meeting. I'm finna open up for straight up questions of every kind. If they can bring them on Zoom, bring them on. If Tahita, if you're going to read out the Facebook chat, the Your Immunity chat, you appear live on this Zoom and read the question so we can have interaction and a proper dialogue here. But I want to know for myself, is the Black woman or MGT financially carrying the Black Muslim? Because if it is, let's have a talk and get some remedies to it. We're not trying to shame or embarrass anybody. We're just trying to have an analysis and see if we can get some remedies to it. Money, homes, luxuries, friendships, and all walks of life. Is the Muhammad's economic blueprint or program dead or alive? Answer it in the chat right now. Is Muhammad's program, is it living right now? Is it dead or alive? Because even if it's dead, we say we with the God of resurrection, so we can still get out this condition, even if we plead guilty to being dead. Money. Do we have some money? If you got some money, raise your Black hand in the audience. If you got some money, And when I say some money, I mean something that if you die today, that your babies or daughters will be able to inherit and have to live off of. That they don't have to be trying to find and scramble just how to bury you. Do you have some money, Black Muslim? If you have some money, damn it, how much money do you have? We got to answer this so we can see where we are and understand why we must come together and why we must end religious differences and squabbling and fighting about who God is, who the Jesus is, who the next Moses is. Was Elijah Muhammad Mary? Was he Jesus? Was he Moses? And who's the new Jesus? Who's the new Noah? All this religious arguing, but the people are poor, hungry, ragged, naked, and out of doors. But we religiously arguing everywhere and can't hardly feed our babies in most instances. Not the way we should. I'm sorry about this. We gotta take a look at this core program of Elijah economics and say that we can do better collectively. We can do better collectively. Now, how much money do you have? Do you have $5,000 for emergency in the bank right now? Black Muslim, do you have $5,000? Do you have Black Muslim in the bank right now in case something happened, emergency happens, death happens? Do you have $10,000 in the bank right now? You tell me, how much money do you say you need in the case of emergency, and do you have it? And let's look this situation square in the eye. Some of us who are watching, if you have less than 50,000, you get nervous. Some, if they think that they had 50,000 on reserve, would be happy as hell. Some say, well, damn, if it's down to 50,000, we got a problem. Do you have some cash money? Do you have an investment account? Do you have some mutual funds? Do you have some interest-bearing accounts? Do you have something where your babies, your loved one, your wives, in case something happens to us, and nobody will escape the evil accident of time? Nobody gonna live forever. What do we have? And can we really say that we are following the program of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad if we are not making some economic progress? I would reasonably say, if you don't have at least $30,000 on reserve for emergencies, you got a serious problem. And that's not much. If you or I, us, this is together now, we together. This ain't me throwing down on nobody. This is us together. If we don't have $30,000 right now that's somewhere gaining interest, gaining a profit, we got a problem. I'm going to say that if you're at a certain age and you don't have a piece of property that's gaining equity, that's gaining value, then we got a problem. Money, homes, luxuries, friendships in all walks of life. Not a one Black Muslim on the 196,940,000 square miles of the planet should be broke. No, not a Muslim. Because a Muslim don't believe in a mystery God that's gonna bring them bread. A Muslim have been taught long time over and over that a mystery God will not bring them bread. And that God is within, and it takes an arm, leg, arm, head. It takes the God within you to get up out that bed and get what we need out of life. Have we forgotten the teachings of the economic program of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad? Even if we have forgotten it, the question at this conference and as we go forward, can we recover? Can we recover? Can we form a national ministry of economics and get together and recover as a nation, not just individuals? Can we recover as a nation of people? I'm going to tell you right now, I believe we can. As tough as this conversation going to be tonight, as tough as it's going to be, I believe that if we unite around the economic question, we can rise. Now, this might be hadith or hearsay, but they used to tell me this. They said that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad allegedly said that if you can't get with me on the religion, then get with me on the economic program. That if we can't agree on the religious part, come to Muhammad, and Muhammad will give you a job. Come to Muhammad and let's do some economics and do business, and we could argue about religion later. Can we form a national ministry of economics across religious lines? If your savior is not my savior, and my savior ain't your savior, and your interpretation of God is not my interpretation of God, can we unite economically to show our people that we got some economic sense? Can we do that at least? Can we do some trade together? Can we do some business together? Can we do some building together? Can we do some training together? Can we do that? Or are we going to argue about who Jesus is? Are we going to argue about who Jesus is? I ain't got time for it. I'm too old for it. So I'm getting ready to open up now. I've said enough. It might appear to be unstructured, but I laid the base, and now we're going to have some dialogue. As I said, I couldn't find the panelist. They said allegedly this Muslim was doing this in business, and allegedly this one was doing it, but I couldn't find it. So maybe the business people are here. Sister Tawhida, if they in business, I want to hear from them. I want them to come testify about their businesses on this panel. If they know about real estate and have some properties in business, come on this line, Black Muslim, and share with us. It's a town hall meeting. It's a town hall meeting right here. I'm looking, put the word out right now before I open up. I'm looking for some Muslims in business, some Muslims that know about properties, Muslims that know about real estate. I'm looking for some Muslims that know about medical care. I'm looking for some Muslims that know about running a home health aid agency. Man, I'm finna talk, pardon me, I'm about to talk some business up in here, and I'm hoping to fire y'all up. Some of y'all might get mad, but I want you to rebut me. I want all the business people and the people that know about that finance and that money, I want to hear from them. Put that Zoom link in the chat of your immunity room. Put the Zoom link in the chat of prayer and fasting. Put the Zoom link in the Afrodescendant Nation. Put the Zoom link on the Black Panther site. Put the Zoom link out. Let them raise their hand and let them testify so we can give hope to these people that the Muslims are not dead economically, but some Black Muslims are alive like they used to be at the Honorable Elijah Muhammad heyday. Come on, talk to me. Now, let me tell you a little bit about myself in business, and then I'm going to take questions and open up. Okay, so once again, I'm talking strong because that's the way we talk, because I believe in what I'm saying. But I'm also telling you that I'm not being judgmental here. I'm also telling you that I'm being humble here. I'm not here to put nobody down here for nothing. I'm saying something, but I'm coming with some solution. I'm coming with some love. I'm coming with some compassion. I'm coming with some mercy. I'm not coming at you arrogantly. Now let's get down to some economic business. Okay. What is your business, Attorney Shabazz? Well, I'm in my law office right now. And I've been practicing law, and I've had my own law office since 1997 when I started. I started law in 1997, and I've had my own legal business since 1997. And I'm successful in the legal world in terms of business. I've had my ups and downs over the years, and probably some ups and downs would be attributed to being very active amongst Black people, preaching, ministering, being active. And sometimes I know some of y'all can relate. Sometimes we do so much preaching, so much activism. Sometimes we doing so much Islam that we have forgot economics. And we have been at a mosque when we should be feeding our babies and taking care of our families and then going back to the mosque. Okay? So very early on, like I started off like a rocket. When I started off in 1997, I was a rocket. I made it like my opening year due to my zeal and my ability to connect with people and using the teachings, using my ability to personally connect, attract my services and my legal services and my business. I took off in personal injury. Way back then, I started right off for myself, made like $150,000 a year, just $150,000 straight up. And I was burning on accidents. Well, what you doing with car accidents? What's up with this car accident? He's car accidents. Nigga, personal injury is a big business in the Black community. Personal injury is $1 trillion business in the Black community. Ask Attorney Reginald Green, my comrade from Howard University, one of the biggest personal injury attorneys in Atlanta. Attorney Reginald Green. It's big business. And it's walking right out of the Black community. Morgan and Morgan, white people. In my area, Top Dog Law. Don't even know who Top Dog is. Top Dog Law. White people taking our money and our clients and making their families rich. So early on, and to this day, I say that the personal injury business in the Black community belongs to Black attorneys and Black people. And damn it, I aim to get every bit of it that I can, and I need 100 times more than I have. You think I'm gonna sit back here and let the children of the slave master that have oppressed my mothers and my fathers come in my community, take all my clients and their injuries and walk out with it? You think that white people come to Black attorneys? They go to their own. So I ain't apologizing for what I've done or will do in the personal injury field. I aim to get every penny, every bit of it I can, because I'm 100% dedicated towards my people. It's going to come back to the people anyway. Ask the Black Panthers, ask the Black Muslims, is it coming back their way? Raise your hands high all over America if you done got some money from me. Even though you done turned on me, some of you, you're still sitting there with the receipts in your pocket. We got to get this green in the black machine, straight up. We got to put some green in the black machine. And so go to law school. What am I saying? My recommendation. Go to law school. Earn your trade. Get your trade. Get your degree. One thing the Muslims stop teaching is to go out there and get you an education. Go out there and don't let nobody, I don't care what theory they give you. Don't let nobody stop you from getting that law license. Don't let nobody stop you from getting that business license. Don't let anybody stop you from getting that trade, that nursing license, that certificate, that home improvement certificate, that repair certificate, whatever degree or certification you got to get. I don't care whether you get it from Muhammad University or you get it from the University of District of Columbia. I prefer you get it from a black college, but wherever you got it, you tell them that Attorney Shabazz said, go to college if that's for you. If it is, go on and get that degree. Get that master's degree. Get that doctorate degree so you can qualify yourself to be economically successful. If college ain't the thing for you, get that vocational degree. Get that vocational certificate. Learn that drywall. Learn that plumbing. Learn that electricity. And be a part of these trillions of dollars that's being built everywhere. Brown people collecting that money everywhere. And I ain't seen a black Muslim with a construction hat on nowhere in my city. I'm coming to it in a minute. I got to crack down, but there is hope. We must build a national ministry of economics, trade, and business. Minister Farrakhan said it himself when I was his aide and ally in the Millions More movement. He preached the 9 ministries. He said on the mall in 2005, Louis Farrakhan, he named the ministries. He said, we must have a ministry of economics and finance, to paraphrase. We must have a ministry of health. We must have governmental structures. The Honorable Silas Muhammad says that we must have a government. Hope they ain't cutting me off, y'all. Am I still on? Am I just cut my cord up in here, man? Because it's Ramadan. I ain't ate all day, ain't got nothing in my stomach. I'm full of fire right about now. Okay? All praise is due to Allah for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and his program. Minister Louis Farrakhan said that these ministries are the key. You in the Nation of Islam that follow Farrakhan, you were saying this for years. We have to have a ministry of economics, a ministry of trade, a ministry of health. We have to have these ministries. We have to have structures where the qualified learn amongst us, pull ourselves together and help to compartmentalize and lead our people out this condition. Do you agree? Now I'm going to ask you this. Do you agree that we need a national ministry of economics, trade, and finance amongst our people, regardless to religious sect? Do you agree? And raise your hand high. Because if you agree with that, then you agree with Minister Louis Farrakhan. And you agree that which Dr. Ableem is teaching and prayer and fasting is teaching. And you agree with the Honorable Silas Muhammad. He's teaching that we must have a government of our own. Well, you can't have a government of our own unless you have a treasury of our own, a finance department of our own. Do you agree with Mr. Son of Man, Marvin Muhammad? Do you agree with him that, did you see his video? You may staunchly disagree. that brother Minister Marvin Muhammad, who is he, the son of man, he calls himself. You may say, well, he ain't my son of man. Well, I got to be honest with you. Hell, he not my son of man either. But hell, I tell you this, he's a divine black man who can build with his hands. Did you see that black man and the God in that black man, son of man, Mississippi, how he built that facility from the ground up with his hands? Did you see him put the parts together with his hands? Did you see him labor with his hands? He ain't no pretty boy. So that's why we unite with him. That's why he's here. I don't know about all these titles these Muslim leaders are carrying. All I know is when I see God and a black man, and I see a black man building, I say, there go God building. See? So all praise is due to Allah for Minister Marvin Muhammad, the son of man. Okay? That's his name. I respect him. I respect the his new nation of Islam. They down there building in Mississippi. The work speaks for itself. I'm coming back on track here. So I've been able, sisters and brothers, to establish a successful law practice, and it can go much further. That's just the injury department. By God's grace and by Allah's grace, I would never go hungry. Long as I'm healthy enough to get up and go to work, I can serve somebody. I can help somebody. I can go to court. And somebody gonna bring some money up in here because I worked and qualified myself and got through law school and got to this seat where I'm at right now. And my road through law school wasn't easy. I was a contested man, a challenged man. I went through all kind of controversy. Yet I still stand on my feet. What else? What other kind of business do I do? Man, I'm a real estate man. Tahita Sabri and others right now, they are sitting in real estate and properties that my companies own. Right here in Washington, D.C. You know, when I graduated law school, my grandfather, we drove down Florida Avenue. They say, you're going on a long time, man. Let me preach this, man. I'm coming to an open. As soon as I finish whatever I'm saying in a minute, I'm coming, man, but rock with me. My grandfather drove me down Florida Avenue in 1997. Me and my mother. I'm going to tell you about my mother in a minute. Because she the coldest business person I know. Next to Elijah Muhammad is my mother, but I get to her in a minute because I'm a product of my mother and my father and grandfather. And I'm only saying this so we can pick up on some economic points. He drove down Florida Avenue. He pointed at all them empty buildings. He said, Malik, you need to get that building. Malik, you need to get that building. It was all boarded up and burned out in Washington, D.C. from the 68 riots. All up and down Florida Avenue, all over there on 13th and U Street, 13th and T Street, 12th Street. It was all down. How much were them houses going for? $30,000, $40,000. You get your hands on that $30,000, $40,000 property at that time. You deal with the little amount of taxes you got. What are them buildings worth now? Open the door. It's open. Give me 1 second. You got to give me 1 second because I haven't eaten all day and I got to at least make sure they leave my food. 1 second. Put your questions in the chat room. I'm coming right back. All right. Okay, I'm sorry about that. That's unprofessional. I'm sorry, but hey, got the Ramadan. It's over for the day. Now look, those properties today are worth 800,000, 900,000, $1 million. You know what I did though? I wouldn't listen to my grandfather. I'm such a revolutionary that I'm not as economically focused as I could be. I'm so much into the teachings and into preaching, which is good now, don't get me wrong, but I'm missing the fact that I should have put deposits and I should have bought 3 or 4 of them buildings. So to all young people who listening to me right now, the real estate scene has drastically changed. But if you're in the inner cities of America that are undergoing gentrification, if you are watching dilapidated properties all around you, and you see the trends coming and the wind blowing, by all means, go out there and get that property now. Get it now before the prices rise. Get it now, and don't let no one tear you away from that. It'll be a lifetime decision that you won't regret. Okay, so I missed that wave in Washington, D.C. at that time because I was so revolutionary that I forgot that property ownership is revolutionary as well. Okay, I'm going to tell you why and how. Okay, I was rocking it off like a rocket when I came out of law school in personal injury. And then what? Then Khalid Muhammad came in my law office in late 1997 talking about we were going to have a 1 million youth march. And and I'm extremely loyal to Muhammad. And by the time I got through following Muhammad out of my law office for this 1 million youth march, which was great, you could probably guess what happened next. You probably can guess what happened next with that money at that time. The graphs start going down because we lose focus, lose balance, lose the mazan. Okay, so let me wrap up this real estate story. I missed it when Washington, D.C. was coming up under gentrification. Now it's all booked up. But we didn't miss it in the years 2003 and others. So I can say right now that my company, that we got several apartment buildings that's under my ownership and under my company ownership, several of them. And they were purchased in around 2003, 2004, 2005, and they have all quadrupled in value in the district. Apartment building that sold for $325,000, 8 units in 2003, 2004, it's now worth $1.6 million. Or I think it's $1.8 million. Every day, somebody calling, trying to buy it, begging to buy it. Think we're going to sell? No way. Well, why are we not going to sell? Because down the street with the other 8-unit buildings that's there on the same block, they got a permit that allows them to take 8 units and go up to 16 units. It's my daughter calling now. She's at Fashion Institute of Technology. My daughter's serious about her business. This little Shabazz is going to have it way ahead of her daddy. Way ahead of her daddy. Let me tell her something real quick. She is going to have it Way better. She's gonna own property way ahead of her daddy, man. Hi, I'm on a Zoom. What's up? Okay, I don't know if I'm approve all that. Now you hold fast. I'll call you back. Now I need to talk to you about that. Yeah, I'm gonna question you. I'm gonna question you on that. You need to. You need to. All right. I got to keep track of it. Got to keep track of these little sisters out here. Keeping track on them. Okay, now look. Sorry. Down the street, look. Why won't we sell if it's worth $1.8 million? I mean, you could walk away with some big money right now. All down the street, the men with the 8 units, you know what? They went and got a permit, some big developer, and they now can build 16 units out of the 8. And they buildings is going to be worth $5 million. 16 units. What you think we're going to do with the 8 unit? You think we're going to sell it? Or you about to see that 8 unit become what? 16 units. And continue to bear and bring in income into perpetuity beyond my lifetime, to the lifetime of my heirs. We have to live not for self, but for our heirs. So it's similar stories for me across the district. I could be much bigger though. I don't even consider this big. You talk to Omar Kareem, a Muslim, and he building recreation centers and all of that. That's big. But this ain't bad. But it could have been better. But it's still a sign to you who are in the ghettos of St. Louis and those other cities, when you see that market changing, when you see the white people coming in your neighborhood and buying that property up, you need to be ahead of it. And so it's the same story throughout the District of Columbia, over there where Sister Tahita Sabri is at right now. Is purchased that, I don't know, is 320,000 or 250,000, whatever it was. Well, it's all worth. It's worth 700,000. 800,000. I mean, if you bought property at the right time in the district, it's doubling and tripling and quadrupling. That's equity. That's equity. Equity means something. Don't let anyone tell you that equity doesn't mean something. If you're sitting on $1 million, $2 million, $300, $5 million worth of equity, that's power and money to leverage, to buy more property, to invest in more business. Equity has value. Getting that property at the right price, maintaining it, making money with it along the way. This is part of the program of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that y'all we're going to talk about tonight. Real estate and property. My last point, and I'm closing, but we're talking business here. This is a business meeting. One other field that I have been in for years. Well, one other field I've been in for years is I do human services. Something that the Muslims should be taking over everywhere. Human services and medical services. There are trillions of dollars flowing through the Black community through human services and medical services. Home health care agencies, nursing services, serving different populations of needy, the disabled, youth, and others, all throughout America, all throughout the district in America. The money is there. The contracts are there. How many Muslims are doing it? How many Muslims are doing it? I used to get them right out the jail. I used to get them out of the jail at the Department of DYRS. I used to get them out of the jail. And through the teachings and the program and the spirit of Elijah Muhammad, while I'm being a lawyer, I'm also taking care of this kind of population in that real estate. I'm housing this kind of person in that real estate. Sometimes I'm getting a Section 8 rental. Sometimes I'm getting an agency rental. But more so, I want that program. I want that program that gives you that rental, but it also gives you that program. Y'all missing me. I know many of y'all done left y'all now. But you know who I ain't left? I ain't left that African. Because right here in Washington, D.C. right now, when you go talk about home health care agency, and you talk about who's running the home health care agencies, and who got 30 employees, 50 employees, hiring their cousins, their uncles, their nephews, and putting them home health care agencies on that elderly, on that sick person, on that person on that Medicaid out there, it's your African sisters and brothers. It's not that Black Muslim. So I said it before online, I have a total of 40 employees. I have legal employees, legal consultants. I got employees in the medical field and the human services field. I got executive directors and staff. And I'm able to say here today from my family and in the spirit of Elijah Muhammad, from the training of my mother, who trained me in human services. She trained me how to serve people and trained me how to staff and quality assurance and human resources. She told me how to take control of the money that's in our community because it's your money. The dollars in your city that's taken from the taxes in your city and ultimately was stolen from us and through discrimination and slavery all the way back, all of the money is yours. But if you don't know how to get it and access it and use it, then you're going to be begging Social Security for a damn Social Security check every month. And so to conclude, I'm recommending medical services, human services. I used to say to myself all the time, why aren't the Muslims doing this? When I'm dealing with the kids and the youth services and out of jail and they paying for them kids. They paying a daily rate to take care of these youth. I said, well, why ain't the Muslims doing this? I say, this is perfect for Muslims. They would take over this business because they the best and the cleanest and the efficient at serving people and relating to people and resurrecting the dead. I go to a business meeting in my city. I can't find a Muslim nowhere. Not a Black Muslim. It's many times I'm the only Black Muslim in real estate services, business meetings, real estate meetings, human services meetings. I would be the only Black Muslim there. But the African brothers, sisters, they right in there. They hiring people and they taking over medical services, taking over serving human services, taking over services of the disabled, taking over. They forming their LLCs, forming their companies, qualifying, training, and now they living well and going on to what y'all call heaven on earth and leaving too many Muslims behind. Look, sisters and brothers, I've touched on enough. I've said enough. I'm ready to open up.